Howdy friends, it's Matt. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of you guys. This is just going to be a video diary of some work that my dad and I are going to do on this old truck here. My daughter calls it Frank. The first big task that we're going to do for video archiving is we're actually going to cut the bed down to make it a short bed. So you can see we have it all marked out here. Our cuts are on the insides on this side, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut it down to right about here, and then we're going to cut it up from here to right about here, and then we're going to use that with a T-square on the inside to determine where we need to cut along the bed. So hopefully this video shows you what we're going to do on this truck. I just thought some of my friends there on YouTube and Facebook might enjoy seeing what we're doing on this truck. So not much talking from here on out, probably a lot of time lapse and watching us clean out the bed of this truck so we can start cutting on it.
So Brooke thought it'd be a good idea if I recorded a little bit of voiceover to tell everybody what we're doing here. So in this section we're just cleaning out the bed, we're checking measurements, making sure that everything looks right, double checking everything over and over. And then my old man gets underneath there and he's going to cut the bolts off of the bed because they were definitely rusted solid.
I know what you're all thinking, but he volunteered. This side here. Yep, there you go.
So here we're doing more cuts. And the thing about it is I was using a blade that was not quite aggressive enough. And if I would have used a more aggressive blade, I would have been much quicker. But I think I actually might have gotten better cuts with the kind of less aggressive blade because it made me go slow. I was really watching my marks. And when we start putting this thing together, it'll make it better because we'll have less gap. Everything will kind of fit in real nice and tight.
Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use these squares coming out from here to try to determine where we'll come out from here, and then we'll come from here like this.
So here we're preparing to snap the line. So we pulled the square off of the cuts that we made a line, and then brought the square up from the bed and matched that line, and then came back down. And you'll see us snap the line here in a moment. We had to do that a couple times. That's not shown in the video, and then eventually we just took a straight edge and just ran it all the way down with a Sharpie to make it so you could see better, because as we'd go there was so much rust. The chalk line was kind of getting blown out as I was going through. I need some more slack here. Okay, right there. Ready?
Yep. Can I help you with something over there?
Oh, I think I got it. The exhaust bracket is connected to the crossover. Hang on.
Oh,
See
I
that?
see. Oh, that one there.
Yeah. Give me a second. So here you see we have a little bit of trouble, and we very nearly got it out all in one shot, but there was a hanger for the exhaust hanging up there, so got underneath there and figured out that we needed to cut that hanger off or take the bolt out, and should pop right out after that, if I recall.
Nice job.
We were pretty happy with it after we started putting it together here. You'll see us kind of jam it together, but you might notice that it's not an exact fit. The back end of the bed was bowed in pretty good, so one thing that we did after getting it all together is we pulled that out and we put it on the floor and stepped on it pretty hard in order to get it straightened out. We actually cut out a good chunk of the back of the bed in order to make it fit. So you'll see that it's not quite exact coming up here, and that's why.
because you're dealing the bottom there, but.
I think this was the end of the first night, and now it was time for a cold one. So we enjoyed ourselves a beer.
It's a little late for me.
Oh, and sorry, we're on the camera too here.
Oh.
Hey everybody.
So here's what the frame looks like after we got the bed pulled out of there. You'll notice that we did a stair step kind of pattern. We've seen a couple guys online do this. We did 4-inch cuts. Maybe we should have done 5, but this seemed to make it fit the best. We actually got really good cuts again with the jigsaw, and we eventually went on to using a more aggressive blade with the frame, and it seemed to work really well.
That help? Well, there's your stuff for your inside.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can cut it down the middle and it automatically fits in the middle.
That's true. You're right.
So here we moved over to the other side. I measured this side, my old man measured the other side, and we did seemed like we did a pretty good job getting everything to line up really well. You see him under there using a framing square to figure out the where we need to make all the cuts. We did all the underside cuts first, and then moved on to the stuff going up and then sideways. You'll see me drill a hole here. It's really nice. There was a hole right in the middle of the frame that we used in order to be able to slide the jigsaw in there and cut without having to make too many long of cuts. Yeah, I got a little frustrated there because I was running low on blades.
Yeah. Let's see if we can push that. Well, that's the springs relieving, so
Yeah.
it's that'll be. Good. Very nice. I'm just amazed that that didn't cut like this.
We don't need the tape on here anymore, do we?
I don't think so. Unless everything's all straight on it.
I think we were coming up to the end of the second night here. I think about by now we had between 4 to 5 hours into the cut down, so getting everything cut out, ready to start putting back together, about 4 to 5 hours. Not too bad.
Good, right there. Okay, it's trying to roll back.
So here you see us putting everything back together. We put a strap across there to kind of help keep everything oriented, and we jacked up the cab half and then had a hoist in the back to help align everything. We made sure that we had some good flat areas on the top of the frame in order to put some straight edges on to make sure that everything was lining up correctly and that we didn't have a kink in the frame, so to speak. Here's the old man jacking it up so that we can get everything aligned. Unfortunately, my camera on my phone died as I was recording this, so all you get is a little bit of us grinding. You don't really see us putting it together and starting to get it welded together. It was a little bit disappointing, but you get to see a little bit of welding later on. So here you'll see me go back over this weld here. We looked at it and, well, it looked pretty good. We wanted to make sure we had some really good penetration, so we ground it out and then gave it a nice chamfer in order to get some good penetration. We welded both sides of the frame, inside and out. Everything looked pretty good. The driver's side looks much better than the passenger side, but all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. And here you see me welding what looks like pretty fast. I feel like I got good penetration. On an upcoming clip, you'll see some good penetration from the underside. Of course, the old man doing all the grinding while I weld, so it's kind of nice to have him around to do that, that's for sure. So here you see me starting to work through this stair step. This is going at about 800% speed. I was pretty proud of all these welds and how they turned out. Unfortunately, these inside welds I had to grind down because we put fish plates on the inside, and of course I didn't record any of that, so that was my mistake. But I think they turned out pretty good. You'll see me here plug a hole here. I like this shot the best because you can see some good penetration coming through there. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of the video. I really appreciate everybody watching this straight through. If you guys made it to the end, we're hoping that we'll have some more videos coming up of me welding the sides together and the bed back together. I'm hoping that I'll make this a regular thing so you guys can follow along and see what we're doing with this old truck. Thanks. See you later.